Gary Young is in the studio with Bruce Woolley. But before we have that interview, here's a scene from COSY Cool.
Hey, guys, come here, check this out. Bit of sloppy doublets in a panel band.
Not bad at all.
Might go and put a bit of the old charisma on them, eh?
Be my guest.
Good morning, ladies. Let me introduce myself.
Get lost, creep.
Negative waves, negative waves. Gazzy, may I want to talk to you, please, if I could.
Try again, mate.
Try again? Right. As I was saying, ladies.
Look, get lost, creep.
Few more negative waves, buzz, 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 you know. Would you care to join my friend and I in a game of card?
I told you.
Hi.
Scrabble?
Name's Cozy. Grit. Spelled D-O-P-E.
Cozy?
As in teapot.
Spelled S-H-I-T?
Well, that's an example of the sort of film that your company's producing. Would you call that art?
I don't know about art, Bruce, but it's embarrassing. No, I wouldn't say it was art. I'd say it was basically what the film-going public, and particularly the drive-in-going public, is paying to see.
So it's exploitation?
Straight exploitation, yeah. That's exactly what they want, really.
I would imagine it's pretty rare for a filmmaker to admit that, though, that he's going out for exploitation.
Probably, but let's be honest. We're looking at a situation here where if we ask the average person, do they like a movie? You've then got the situation of saying, all right, would you put your money up? Would you go and see that movie? We are saying that these sorts of movies are taking money because we are getting the public's vote, and it's a hip pocket vote. So certainly if it's art or if it's not art, it doesn't really matter. What does matter is that the picture is taking money, and really when it comes down to the nitty-gritty of everything, if you make cornflakes and you can't sell those cornflakes, you're in trouble. And the same thing must apply to the movie business.
But in order to exploit your market, you're seeking some government assistance, aren't you?
Yes and no. We've got a situation here where the government has changed the law so that investment in movies is not nearly as well, worrisome as it used to be. You've now got a situation where since 1978, people investing in movies have really got security because the government has said, look, we'll give you all of these benefits as a movie industry, we'll support it, we will really push it. But you've got to get off your tail, you've got to go out and do something yourself.
But can you see that the general public might be a bit concerned that their taxpayers' money is going into ventures like this one, making films like that?
Well, let me put this to you, Bruce. You've got a situation where if it's government money and it comes from a film commission, you've really got a form of censorship, because if the government says, right, we'll budget that movie and we won't budget this one, they're deciding which pictures are going to be made and which ones are not. When you put it this way, the government's being very fair. They're really still spending the same amount of money because they're giving the industry a write-off situation so that their investors are really raking in a tax advantage, if you like. And the net result really gets down to the fact that if a producer wants to make a movie, can then go out and interest his investors to put money up, those investors really get a benefit before the movie's even made.
And this tax concession is what you're using to try and get financial backing from Queenslanders at the moment. You're promising them some sort of return on their money because of the government's support of the film industry.
Very simply, the Prime Minister himself has said, look, this was an election promise, we changed the law, and we'll give you these tax advantages. Mr Howard and Mr Ellicott, I think, backed up those statements when the law was actually changed. We are simply utilising a weapon, if you like, of encouragement that the government gave us to use.
So you're quite happy that it's entirely above board?
Oh, certainly, certainly. It's been, in fact, the senior investigator from the Taxation Department in Queensland has been out to the offices, been through all of the documentation. It certainly is above board.
What are we supposed to have done?
You killed those girls you were with.
Don't give me that crap. Sure, we were with some girls. but they split. And we haven't seen them since. Now, if you don't mind, we'll split.
Hey, we know you killed those girls.
Bullshit. What's hanging out of you?
I know you didn't. You animals killed my wife and you killed those girls too. I know it! I saw you did!
You seen us? You seen us?
By virtue of the arrangement, if you like, that we have, and the government's change in law, are able to pick up a tax saving for 2 years. So if they're on 13,000, they take off the 4, which they don't have to pay tax on.
So it's a tax dodge?
No, it's not a tax dodge, really. It probably has that effect, but the government changed the law to give it that effect.
Well, how long do you think the government will tolerate allowing those tax concessions then?
Well, let me put this analogy to you. The government wanted to encourage oil well drilling. It gave a lot of these same sorts of incentives to that industry. The situation then occurred that oil well drilling did occur, and it went on while ever the incentives were there. When the incentives were withdrawn, okay, a lot of the drilling stopped, but there was a core of drilling still going on. I believe a similar situation will occur here. Probably the government won't stay with it forever, but perhaps 5 years will give the industry a chance to establish a good, solid basis.
Well, while the rest of the Australian film industry is trying to establish a reputation for itself overseas with quality films, are you undermining that reputation?
Well, I don't agree that they're not quality films. I say that they're not the pieces of art that some of the government pictures are. But, you know, let's put this analogy back again. Do those pieces of art get the vote of the public, or do my pictures get the vote of the public? I mean, I'll play my picture in one drive-in, you pick the most arty picture you can find, and we'll play them in opposite drive-ins, and we'll see which one takes the money. It's a simple, rational concept. Public want to see that sort of movie. Mad Max has proved that the world will accept that sort of movie. And all we really need now is enough time to build a solid base, and we can really make Australia the biggest producer of English-speaking movies within 10 years. I'm sure we can.
With the end of the financial year just around the corner, nice to know you can save taxes with COSY COOL and its stable mates. That's all in Nationwide this week. See you Monday. Good night.
Look, I'll just get some more rag off the chopper.
Looks like they're robbing her! Hey, one of them's getting away!
Not if I can help it.